welcome to this special exam prep explainer. I know कल तुम्हारा human-computer interaction का semestral exam है, and feeling a bit stressed right now is completely natural, yaar. But tension mat lo. Today we are strictly focusing on the 5-star, guaranteed topics that repeat every single semester. Think of this explainer as your ultimate cheat code. Just master these and those major 10-mark questions are totally locked in.
So, here is our agenda for today. We'll look at the top HCI exam laws, then cognitive models, the mobile ecosystem, web UI patterns, and finally, a quick final checklist. Let's dive right in.
Section 1, Top HCI Exam Laws. Fitts and Millers. Okay, think about this for a second. Why exactly is the Windows Start button sitting right there in the very corner of your screen? Is it just some random design choice? Absolutely not. It's pure science, based on exactly how our human motor system outputs information to a computer. And this whole concept is dictated by Fitts' law. Now grab a pen because the mathematical formula is mt equals a plus b log base 2 of 2d over w. Please isko likh lo. Examiners literally love this equation. Basically, this law proves that the closer and larger a target is, the faster the movement time to click it. Simple, right? That's exactly why call to action buttons are massive and corner buttons are infinitely easy to hit, because your cursor naturally stops at the edge of the screen. Moving on, this brings us to another fundamental rule that you absolutely must know, Miller's Law. Just remember this magic number, 7, plus or minus 2. Our human brain, specifically our short-term working memory, can only accurately hold about 7 items at a single time. Yehi reason hai ki we always chunk our phone numbers, right? And it's exactly why any well-designed navigation menu will rarely exceed 7 items. All right, Section 2, Cognitive Models in HCI, Decoding the User's Brain. Now, when it comes to cognitive models, the absolute most important one to know is the GOMS model, G-O-M-S. You have to memorize these 4 steps. First, goals. MATLAB, what the user actually wants to achieve. Second, operators. These are the basic physical actions, like just clicking a mouse. Third, methods, which is the sequence of operators used to achieve that goal. And finally, selection rules, meaning how a user chooses between different methods, like deciding whether to use a keyboard shortcut yet for going through a menu. Another crucial point here is truly understanding the difference between the system image and the mental model. The system image is what the software actually is and how it literally functions under the hood. But the mental model, that is the internal belief in the user's mind based on their past experience. Take the Windows recycle bin, for example. The user's mental model believes that hitting delete is throwing a file into a literal trash can. So the closer the system image matches that user's mental model, the better the design. Examine the examples of Roldana.
Section 3, Decoding the Mobile Ecosystem, Hardware, OS, and Frameworks.
Look, the mobile OS market is essentially a duopoly right now. Android commands a massive 72% global market share, primarily because it's open source, meaning literally any manufacturer can run it on their hardware. On the flip side, Apple's iOS sits at about 27%, representing a very strict, closed-source, premium ecosystem. If you get a question on this, be sure to highlight this exact business model difference. And if you get a 10-mark question on frameworks, you have to clearly differentiate between native and cross-platform. It's a guaranteed marks grabber. Native frameworks like the Android SDK using Kotlin or the iOS SDK using Swift give you absolute maximum performance. But cross-platform frameworks like React Native using JavaScript or Flutter using Dart, they allow you to deploy to both Android and iOS from just a single codebase. Write this exact differentiation down for full marks. So, what is the absolute biggest secret of mobile ergonomics? Always remember this line. Design for the thumb zone or marks apne aap aayenge. Seriously, when we hold a mobile phone, our thumb naturally forms an arc across the screen. Bottom navigation bars are incredibly popular specifically because they fall right into this super comfortable thumb zone. In mobile UI, reachability is everything. All right, Section 4, Web UI Display Patterns. Overlays, inlays, and virtual pages. For the exam, you need to know how to draw a very clear line between overlays and inlays. Overlays basically float above the existing page, usually dimming the background to force user focus. Think of a pop-up or a confirmation dialog. Inlays, on the other hand, actually expand within the page layout itself. They push the surrounding content down but keep the user's context totally intact, like those FAQ accordions you click on that just slide open. And this seamlessly brings us to virtual pages. The ultimate real-world example here is Gmail.
Just picture it. When you click an email in Gmail, the URL might not change immediately, and the page definitely doesn't do a full reload from the server. Instead, JavaScript quietly swaps out the content right in front of you. These are called single-page applications, or SPAs, where virtual pages simulate a completely new page load without actually doing one.
The absolute crucial point for any applied design question is knowing exactly when to use which pattern. Here's the rule of thumb. Use overlays when you need a critical decision from the user, like a deletion warning. Use inlays when you want to show extra details without breaking the user's flow. And finally, use virtual pages when navigating between entirely different major sections of a web app.
Almost done. Section 5, Final Exam Checklist. High-yield summary.
Let's very quickly review our 4 major pillars from today. 1. Memorize the exact formula for Fitts law and that magic 7 ± 2 rule for Miller's law. 2. Know the 4 cognitive steps of the GOMS model inside out. 3. Understand the clear language and performance comparison between native and cross-platform frameworks. And 4. Be ready to clearly differentiate between overlays, inlays, and virtual pages.
So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Are you ready to write down the exact Fitts law formula and the GOMS steps for those guaranteed 10-mark questions tomorrow? Take a deep breath, Yar. You've locked in the absolute core concepts today, and you are fully prepared. Have a great night's sleep, trust your preparation, and go ace that exam. Best of luck, you've got this.